What's up, guys?
What's up?
Welcome
Yes.
to another episode of In Between Sets. This is episode number 4. We're going strong.
That's right. There's going to come a point where I run out of fingers that I can maybe I do sign language or something.
Then when we go 2, it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna have to say it. Thank you so much for clicking on this video.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of things we want to share with you and catch you up on. I just realized we post these once a month, so a lot happens.
A lot does happen.
in between every time we post them.
Yeah.
But how are you? How have you been?
I'm good. You know what? Just enjoying summer.
It is hot in this garage.
It is toasty
right now.
It is.
We're sorry if you can hear this fan that we have going on right here.
but we need it. We need it, or else.
Yeah. That's also why I'm wearing a hat, so my forehead don't glisten.
That's good. But what hat is that? Wait a minute.
Oh.
Ooh.
This is a brand that we started. This is our unofficial launch on the podcast, because by this time it's probably already been launched.
Yes.
And look at that shirt.
Yes.
We made some pieces that we hope you've seen by now. If you haven't seen it, you can go online.
Yes.
What's our...
Well, you can click anything in the description.
We're going to have it
go in the descriptions, and the link is right there.
We have limited quantity.
We do. So make sure to get yours.
Yes.
We're just grateful. There's so much behind these pieces. We're very proud. We looked at the design, looking at all the little details that kind of represent us. We have the 2615 diamond. We have, the color palette, everything from layout to just having fun into that 2615.
Yeah.
That one's an In Between Sets hat.
Yeah, this was specifically for this podcast.
Yeah, so get yours.
Yes.
It has there's a scripture reference in this that your mom kind of shared with us that talked about
it's on that shirt.
Yeah, it's on this one.
And it's on the white one too, right?
It's on the white one, on the ivory one too, yeah. And it just talks about being, I'm going to translate it in English, but it talks about being inquebrantable como un diamante, so unbreakable like a diamond.
Yes.
And that's kind of what we want to be. Like we talk about inviting pressure into our workouts, into our lives. And so it's just a cool piece, kind of like all of this coming together. So get yours.
Yes. Thank you so much for supporting.
Yeah.
It means a lot to us. We had a lot of fun designing it.
Yeah.
These together just to kind of,
And if you did already get yours, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And rock it, post it, tag us.
Yes. We hope to make more.
Yeah.
There will be more.
We've dreamt up so many different drops.
There's a lot of drafts.
Yeah. There's so many good ones for the rest of this year, but then 2027 this is going to be
So get yours if you don't have yours. But today, for this episode, we just wanted to catch you up on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Life recently, and then talk about something that we both experienced at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But recently, we both did this separately, but I haven't done this in a minute. We went to get our blood drawn.
Yeah.
I went to get my blood work and see my results because I hadn't done it in a minute. Get your blood work.
Yes.
If you haven't done it in like a year. I hadn't done it. Gotta be 5 years, bro. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I went. I got my blood drawn, and I was pretty good everywhere. But my cholesterol is high, bro.
Yeah.
And I thought I was good, man. You think you're a...
Yeah. Because, that's just the thing. Honestly, when you said that to me...
So sad. I almost started crying, yeah.
It was scary because you hear this and what you went first and you told me your cholesterol was high. And I was like, what?
Bro.
But because we live a very disciplined life with how active we are, with how we eat, and...
I was shocked.
Yeah, no,
But then when I went over it with my doctor, they were telling me that, and they ask you how you're eating, what I'm saying, your diet and what your lifestyle looks like. And so I was telling them, and they said, oh, hold on, your high cholesterol is not because of your diet. You're actually eating great. Don't make any changes.
Well, what's funny? Because
I was like, what?
Before they tell you that, because we get the appointment, you find out you have high cholesterol, but that's it. Now you have a follow-up appointment, right? So
I thought I was gonna die.
So we're looking at chat and trying to figure out what
does high cholesterol mean?
And then it's you can't.
Am I gonna die tomorrow?
Limit your red meat intake. Limit your egg yolks.
Yeah, yeah. And
Right?
like
There was a lot
fast food, like
Okay.
processed foods and all
Which
that.
we don't
like
really eat.
fried stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
which we don't eat. And I was telling my doctor that, and they were saying like, you're actually good. Like you don't need to make any changes. You're pretty healthy. So essentially, what happened or what's going on with me is that it's genetic.
Yeah.
My high cholesterol comes from my genes.
Now wait a minute. It's something I'm processing right now because I have the same thing. I then went and they're like, you have high cholesterol.
I didn't know that was a thing though.
No, I didn't either. I confuse it with high blood pressure.
Not the same thing.
Not the same thing. But I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I have high blood pressure. She's like,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. She's super concerned. And then I realized what I was actually saying was wrong.
Wait, you told her you have high blood
Yeah,
pressure?
and I was like, Mom, what happens when you have high blood pressure? And like that's high risk of like a heart attack and all that. You know, high cholesterol doesn't.
Well, kind of. So what cholesterol is they're little plaques that build up in your arteries, like your where your blood flows. So essentially, if you get more and more plaques in your arteries, you do build up high pressure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, kind of like
So
it could
maybe
lead to that,
I
but
was right.
you were on the right track. But you don't necessarily have high blood
I don't
pressure.
have high blood
High
pressure.
cholesterol can cause high blood pressure.
There it is.
So
I'm good, Mom. She knows,
Yes.
but I'm good. But I do have high cholesterol. But do you think it's a Salvadorian thing?
we eat too many pupusas. You think it's a lot of?
Or we've eaten, yeah.
It's a lot of tortillas and frijoles.
You know what I mean? Like,
Dang, probably
Yeah.
right.
because
It's just in the blood. And you can't.
it's just in the blood. It's genetics.
Dang.
And so
Well, looks like I'm gonna have high cholesterol for the rest of my life
we just have to pay attention to
because I'm not gonna stop eating pupusas.
facts.
Tell you that
Facts.
much.
That's not changing.
Nah, chill. My doctors gave me medicine, and so we're gonna see if it goes down.
I still have some follow-up appointments that I gotta go to.
Yeah, bro, you gotta get that checked. Anyway, the point of this story is go get your blood work
Yes,
done, please.
yes.
Go make sure you're good and do it consistently.
I hadn't done it since 2023.
Yeah, I don't even remember last time I did it. That's how bad it was.
And he has it in the records. He's like, wait, was the last time you came to get a blood work done?
And so was it?
2023?
So 3 years ago.
So 3 years ago.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, that's our checkup
Yeah.
on our health.
yes.
But yeah, we wanted to talk about something that happened to us. Not happened to us. That we
but
got
we
to
did.
experience and that we did
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
That has really shaped this year
for sure, I agree.
and a lot of different changes.
And giving us perspective into what we want to do every year moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, at the start of the year. And it's like, and I feel like growing up, did like your church do like church-wide fast? Like,
Oh, yeah.
21-day fast?
Every year
Okay.
at the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
21 days, they would make a little book
Yeah.
that everyone followed.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much my whole life.
Yeah. And so I feel like I did the same. Like there was some sort of fast at the beginning of every year. And this time though was really different. We weren't planning on doing it. We were together with Andy. And
Yeah. Andy is my middle brother. I have
Yes.
2 younger brothers.
Yeah.
Andy's my middle brother.
Shout out Andy.
Love you, Andy.
Yes.
If you're watching this.
And it's one of those things where we were talking, we were together, and he was like, I'm gonna do a fast. Y'all should do it with me.
Yes.
And I remember, and it was gonna be a 7-day liquid only fast.
Yeah.
And I remember
Water only.
Water only. And I remember hearing him say that and kind of getting really nervous. Do you remember? I got a little nervous. I was like, wait.
Yeah.
And he's like, do it. And I'm like, oh man, like these type of things, the way I process things and prepare for things, like I like being prepared getting into anything, right?
Yeah.
And like it being like, hey, tomorrow was one of those.
You're going to stop eating food.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and it was a little scary. And I've never, ever done a 7-day water only fast.
Yeah.
Or a water only fast, you know? And so I was a little nervous, but I remember us watching him talking about Philip Anthony Mitchell and his message. We came back here to the house. We played that episode, which we'll also put in the description. That way, if you want to watch it,
Great message.
Great message, and it was very convicting. It was very encouraging. and just clarified a lot about the fast that we were about to do.
Yeah.
And I remember
I was gonna say
Yeah.
my brother is like one of the most determined people I know.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
oh God, he inspires me so much. But he's just like, he's got his mind on something, he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I remember we were sitting there. We actually, it was here. We were upstairs in the living room, and we were just watching Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell, and he was starting a fast at his church.
Yep.
And so we were kind of, but this was I think this was his message from the year prior.
That's right. Yeah.
So, but anyway, it was the beginning of the year, and he was charging on his church to start a church-wide fast.
Yeah.
And it was intense. Like, it was, the way he said it was like, all right, like at the end of this service, the Sunday service in church, you go and have lunch,
Your last one.
and that will be your last meal until we meet again next Sunday.
Yep.
And then our fast will break. And yeah, for me, that was also pretty like, whoa, like. But what he shared there in the message was pretty confronting, but also he was confronting me with the word. Like, it's what's scriptural. Like, the fasts that I've done, I've seen them done my whole life, but I never really did them the way they're done in the Bible, like the way they're actually were meant and designed to be done, like the way God designed them to be. And he in his message, he was sharing about how there's only two kinds of fasts that are scriptural, that are actually biblical. And it's a partial fast, like what Daniel did, but then there's just a fast, like you just don't eat. And I was like, yeah, like there really is only two options. Everything else is kind of like what we've, adapted to want to. And so I've done like social media fasts and like, I don't know,
No
don't watch,
TV
no
fast.
TV, but there's something about like, it doesn't really hurt. And I think the nature of a fast is you need to sacrifice something. And when I gave up social media, to be honest with you, like, it felt great.
But it's your flesh.
Yeah.
It needs to hurt your flesh. That's because those other things might bother you, or they might make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're not hurting your flesh the way that that kind of fast is.
Yeah.
Because you're so right.
Yeah, and so it was. So we went all in, man.
We went all in. And what's the thing Philip Anthony Mitchell says that we just kept replaying over and over? It was a clip that he recorded.
Yeah.
Because we were off social during that time.
We were off of social media, and so he it's like
break your flesh.
Yeah, like those TikTok edits and those Instagram edits that you'll see of just hyping you up. And he and Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell is intense. Like he's aggressive. And it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it is for us. Like, and it just like, and he would say like, I want to invite everyone to do something you've probably never done before. Break your flesh. And it was like, you know what I'm saying? They added like an electric guitar behind it and like fire emoji. Like, it just made you want to go all in, and it worked on us, dude. We went.
For sure. And it was encouraging.
Yeah.
But what was interesting about it, we could talk about the fast and like what day one looked like, what day two looked like. We journaled everything, right?
Yeah,
so we can go back and look at what was happening and how we were feeling, how we were processing, whether the hunger or whether how our flesh was confronting us, or how we. And so, but the fast was great. It was awesome not doing it alone. I think having each other to stay accountable, to encourage each other, because there were moments where we almost wanted to quit.
Yeah,
do you remember?
It was rough.
But when one of us wanted to quit, the other two were like, "Don't, we got this." And that happened almost all the way around. I think you're the one that at least said, "I want to quit," but I think Andy and I were both like,
Yeah, I had never done like I don't know what the coolest thing about a fast, and if you've never done a fast, it's something very scriptural. Like it's something very, very holy, very sacred that Christians and believers in God and people that are following Christ and want to be more like Him see that we follow His example, and Jesus fasted. That's what He did. And fasting is essentially denying your flesh, so that your spirit could be sensitive to the voice of God, and God's moving, and you can hear from God, and so I had never done one as seriously as we did it. So that day after we watched that message, the three of us, me, Joe, and my brother Andy, we started a 7-day water-only fast. And so for the next 7 days, we did not eat anything, and it was just water. And it was like, it really, I think the only reason we survived is because it was for God.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
I agree.
And you really see that when And we're not saying this because we're telling everyone that everyone needs to do this. Like it's not really like this is the only right way. Like people have done longer, people have done shorter, and their own kinds of fast. But something about putting something in place so that we can challenge ourselves to really deny the things that our flesh wants. And something that we all want all the time is food. And that's why I think in scripture, a fast is deny yourself of food.
Yeah.
So that really, and we saw it happen throughout that whole week, we were really sensitive. And we also made a plan of reading the Bible. Like we weren't just not eating.
Yeah, for sure.
We were really intentional about every day our food was the word. And so we were reading, I think we were reading, what were we reading? Romans?
We were bouncing around, but Romans was the main
I think we were all actually reading our own thing.
I think we were all reading one and then bouncing around.
Yeah. The point is we had a plan in place, and we were very strict with our Bible reading, and God spoke a lot of different things.
Prayer time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That week, we weren't working out the way we typically work out because we knew our bodies were going to be weaker. Something that, and it wasn't for this. Actually, we'd been bulking all fall, right?
Yeah.
And then that week, and I knew it was going to happen, but I was like, this is so worth it for me that it doesn't matter that I'm going to lose some muscle mass during those 7 days. But I lost a lot of muscle mass during those 7 days. I got skinnier. We lost a lot of weight, and it wasn't for that, really. We wanted to start the year right, and we wanted to start the year surrendering to God, like offering the year to God, asking Him for His guidance, asking Him, each one of us had our own things where we were like, hey, this is what we're seeking God, and kind of surrendering, or like how we're positioning the fast. And like it was life-changing. And I said this at the beginning, but it's something that we've said we want to do this for the rest of our lives, start the year off that way. And we're going to do something next year where we want to invite you to be a part of, and we'll talk about that more, but that's something that we want to do, doing it wherever you're at, but just doing something where we could do it together, just offering the year to God and like just believing and expecting. We really heard, each one of us has stories, and that, like I wanted to share a little bit of what I experienced out of that. And for me, I love music, I love worship, and I've been really grateful to have put out stuff under Rive. I feel like I've always had ideas, so I have so many voice notes with like song, lyrics, melodies.
We'll be working out, and Joe just kind of like, give me a second, I need to do something, and then he'll go into his corner with his phone and he'll start like mumbling a melody that he got. He does that all the time, but that's if you know a songwriter, they're probably
that's so funny.
They're writing
and the thing is, like, I love that, and it does happen all the time, and I'm grateful for that. Like I'm grateful that I can stir up ideas, because creative block happens, and but at the beginning of the year, one of the things that I just felt was God calling me back into worship. And not that I had stopped worshiping, right? Like I've been able to lead at church and have my own worship time, but I've been putting out projects with Rive, and I have this 5-phase project that I'm still going to complete, right? And I had just put out an EP a few months before, but just feeling like it was time to do a worship project. And my sister, Jessie, with my nephew, would always come up to me and they'd be like, when are you going to do a worship project? And I knew I was supposed to, but I don't know why I've been afraid, And I think I've just been afraid. Like there's a lot of thoughts that run through my mind, and I want to do something right, and I want to do something that, and so those kind of thoughts creep in, right? But when I felt that, I remember writing it down. I also remember talking to Ingrid and asking her to pray for the project and bless it. And she did. And she encouraged me, and she was kind of reminding me of what Rive did to get me to this point, right? The project of Rive. And Rive gave me the confidence to do music. And then with phase 2, gave me the confidence to do it in Spanish, because I really feel like the worship project that I'm working on, it's bilingual, but there's a lot of Spanish in it. And so I've just been writing a lot of Spanish songs. And it's something that I felt like I needed to do for a long time, but it finally feels right. The only thing is I'm not rushing it, right? I really wanted to feel like it's something that's just an overflow of what God's doing in my life. Let the songs, I have so many ideas, and God's put people in my heart to collaborate with and work with. I've talked to a few of them already, and they've said yes, and it means the world to me, because I can't believe that being able to collaborate. I have a friend who just recently, and I told you about this, they were talking about, they also felt like
The callback.
call back to worship, and that they're also wanting to do that. And so he's just like, we're going to work on a project together, and we've already said yes.
So
and
nice.
And I'm just expectant, and I'm excited. But the thing that started happening is God just started opening doors. All he needed was my yes and my obedience, and he has it. And like opportunities to lead worship. We were able to have a worship night here at the house, and it was just a beautiful time. You know, we was with some friends, and it was just a beautiful time. And then we were able to go to Andy. Andy hosted a worship night in Florida, and it was just a beautiful time. And I remember just feeling anxious, nervous, and finally putting my guard down. Went into it very much like, God, I don't want to make it about hitting all the right notes or having beautiful vocal moments. I just want to make it about your presence and getting all that out of the way. And every opportunity I've gotten since is just that, you know. That's all I want. I don't want to make it about me. I do want to lead people, you know, as I feel called. And like, God's just giving me opportunities anytime I get an opportunity to lead, whether just being a part of the team or leading a song, I never take that for granted. It means the world to me every single time. I get super excited. I also get super nervous. And you know all of these, because I'm usually like, pray for me. But I get really excited. And I don't take it for granted, not once. And like, I love being able to do that. I had a friend who recently asked me to help lead at their church in Spanish. And it just felt like, again, one of those things where it's like, all right, God, I see what you're doing. And the opportunity, it was just beautiful. And I can see God doing things. I'm not rushing the projects. I have like 3 projects in the worship space that I've envisioned, you know, just because I think those were the songs that have been that I've been writing. And like, it's I want to go back to scripture and I want to write and declare truths, you know. And so I'm very excited. I don't know what God's going to do the rest of this year. We've talked about more worship nights. I've talked about doing like maybe a once a month worship night here in Houston. And you know what's crazy? I think I told you this. I mentioned that once at a Rive show that we did.
Like that you would do worship nights?
That I wanted to do worship nights, that I just felt like called to do that.
Really?
Yeah. Do you remember the Rive show?
You talked about doing worship nights?
I talked a
Like
little
on
bit
stage?
about this. And I said I wanted to do worship music, and I want to do worship nights. And I mentioned it there. And someone told someone, and I've had people come up to me and say, if you want to use our house, you're more than welcome.
Well, shoot.
Like, which is crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Because I haven't even moved it.
Yeah.
And
you haven't even like released the worship
and I haven't
song,
even, you know what I mean? Any of that. And like already opportunities to homes. And what I just want is like people to gather. I want, but just creating a space for people to lean in. Right. And I wanted it to be intentional. I don't want it just to be, because gathering for the sake of gathering, I want there to be intentionality behind it, you know? And so I've just been praying a lot about that and asking God for wisdom and guidance into that. But I've just had so many people just encourage it and want to be a part of it. And I have so many friends who musically,
you know a lot of people. It's going to be a good album.
I can't believe it, you know? And one, I just can't, like, wow, I'm getting super emotional. I just can't believe God would choose one and then see him at work in such a beautiful way where he's just moving all the pieces. And again, it goes back to like, all you have to do is say yes and just be obedient, and the things that he will do from there.
Yeah, bro.
And so I'm praying. Please pray for the worship project and pray for all the things that are coming from that. For the worship nights, When those come together, we've talked about trying to go do another one in Florida. I know Andy wants that, and
Yeah, man.
I just don't know what it'll all look like, but all I know is God's on the move, and
Is it gonna be under Rive?
it's not going to be under Rive.
Oh,
Yeah. Rive will be its own thing and
its own
persona.
sad lover boy.
Yes.
If you've heard of my brother's music over here,
Yes. If you haven't,
lovely for those crying hours.
I just love sad love songs.
Yeah. You
but-
maybe you do have to separate them.
Yeah. I have to separate them.
Yeah,
I do. I've thought about, which is honestly, this is how long ago I've known. I started working on Rive back in like 2018, but finally recorded and I think released in 2020. But in 2018, I started working on Rive. Back then, I knew I needed to call it something different because when the time came to do worship, it needed to be released under like Joe.
So
I've
you knew
known
this.
since.
Wow.
I just
You know
not
this
that
for a
I've
while.
hidden away from it or like I ran away from it, but it just didn't feel like time. And like again, like what Ingrid said, like it was God. God wasn't skipping steps. He was taking me through the process of getting to the place where I'm finally at now to do it.
Yeah. Dang, bro.
Isn't that wild?
That's deep.
That's crazy.
That's deep. Yeah, and what I was gonna say was, I can't wait for the Spanish worship songs.
Oh, dude.
There's something about we both grew up in Hispanic church, and I don't know, man. There's just something about
No, there is.
Spanish songs.
There is.
I don't know what it is. Why do they just feel like holier? I don't know, man. The spirit flows in a different way in Spanish. Bro. I don't know what it is, bro.
If you haven't, go to a worship
Yeah.
Spanish
So
service.
just make more in Spanish than English.
Yeah.
All right. Like do like a 70-30.
70-30. Okay. 80-20.
Maybe an 80-20. I won't be mad at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait.
No, thanks.
And that all came from the fast.
That all came from the fast.
Dang.
It was just the alignment,
Yeah.
and it was clear.
Yeah.
And then everything else
Crazy.
is just falling into place.
Yeah.
I haven't had to force anything. I haven't had to push anything. It's just like I've gotten calls, I've gotten texts. It's just been God stirring in other people's hearts.
Yeah.
And everything just aligning. I can't.
Yeah. I'll share what happened in me during that fast, but what we're doing, we just want to share like specifically in that what we did, like what can happen when you set some time aside to do something that's very holy and very sacred in the Bible, like something that we're called to do, and that's the fast. And when you actually like give it to God, but you're real about it, like you actually fast the way you're supposed to, and you actually seek God, like you don't just fast just to fast, but you also seek God, and like you see what happens. But for me, I was kind of praying for, during that fast at the beginning of the year, I was just praying for direction, really. I had been up until that point just freelancing, so I do freelance video, videography and editing and stuff. And
Incredible video editor, shooter.
Thank you so much.
Extremely
I try. But yeah, so I was fresh out of college, and so I've been doing that for a minute, and I don't know, man, just praying to God for what to do next. Really, I just kind of felt in my heart that something new was coming in me, and in the fast, I just kind of like, I feel like God took me back a little bit, just to kind of like my roots and where I grew up. I grew up in church, and I went back to really the way I used to think when I was really a kid, like in those services, and what the things I was passionate about in those times. And I just remember being super passionate about ministry and church and just being there. Something about just being, it's a beautiful thing. Like if you see, church isn't perfect. Like it has a lot of imperfections, and church is made up of people. And I think one of the hardest things you see is when people put, church people or Christian people in the place of God. And so because of people, you're really hurt by the church.
For sure.
Like no church is perfect, and the church is made up of people that are going to hurt you. It doesn't matter where you go. Like that's everywhere. And so, but I don't know, man, when you go in there and you really seek God, and in the community, you really are committed to together glorify God in everything that you do and help each other through the things you struggle with. Like that was so beautiful for me. And I think from a young age, I was so attracted to that, to community and to ministry. And so, I always felt a call from God to to serve the church and to be in ministry, but I always kind of gave God like I'm half in, but I'm half out. I have one foot in, but I'm not really fully committed. And so I think this was never something that I prayed to God, but I do feel like the way I lived my life was me telling God, I love ministry and I love church, and I want to serve here, and I want to possibly maybe even be in full-time ministry, but I want to do it in the way I want to do it. And what I found that I really liked and what I was really passionate about was creative, and digital production and live production and stage design and all those things that I fell in love with from such a young age that I started volunteering in. And I was like, whoa, this is my way in. This is how I can be in ministry and be in church, but do it my way. And so that took me to go to school for film production, and just kind of dove deep into that. But I always had a friction of calling, and you can call it being a pastor or a minister or whatever it is, but just to share. And I always had friction with that. It's just something that you kind of, when you're a pastor's kid and you just feel a lot of pressure, and something about running away from that for me felt natural. I just did not want that. And so I was just thinking a lot about that, man, and I could not stop thinking about the way I was thinking when I was maybe 11, 12 years old, and loving it so much, but telling God, nah, not like that. Like this is how I want to do it. And man, there was something about that fast specifically, that giving up what in that time was food. I also felt it very, very significant, or I guess very symbolic, of me giving up my own desires, and me giving up what I wanted for my life. Because if you call yourself a Christian and you're really all into following Jesus and glorifying God with your life, like that means giving all of you, like not just being like, hey God, you can have this 10% of my life, but I want the other 90 for me. Or maybe you might be better than most of us. You might give him 60%, but God, I want 40, or maybe you're even better than that. You might give him 90, but God, I still want that 10. And I felt like that I was confronted in that fast about that. And so just like you gave a yes, I gave God a yes too. And so it's been, I think, like 3 months now. I went back to school and I started seminary. So I'm going to school, studying the Bible, and crazy, man. It's crazy, but and it's a long story, but just like you said, like once I gave God my yes, I remember there was a time while we were in the fast that I had to fly away, so I had to go see someone, but we were all together for most of it. I remember. And then I had to go on a quick flight and come back. So I was gone for like a day. Mm-hmm. I was by myself. Mm-hmm. But you and Andy were still together. Yeah. So you guys had each other. Yeah. But I was, I was on a flight. And so I had a lot of just beautiful times with God that day of just travel there and then back. Those flights were, man, I prayed some very serious prayers. I gave yeses to God that I've never given before, and I really meant them. And just like you, in my life too, like the second you give those yeses and you're really serious about them, doors start opening up. And so I'm not like a student. I don't really like school like that. Like I'm not like a homework guy.
Wait. Yeah. Okay, finish your thought and then I gotta say something.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, I'm not, I guess I never really thought about going back to school. For like, sure. I'm not like I want to go study again and write papers and read.
Yeah. But can I say something? This guy's been getting straight A's. Are you?
Yeah.
All you're like, I mean, that's awesome. Because I know you're not, but this isn't like anything school before. Yeah. There's purpose.
Yeah, I just started. So it's been like 4 weeks, and it's the summer right now. So summer semesters are intense and they're accelerated. And so normally a 15-week semester, like in fall and spring. In the summer, they condense it to 7. Yeah. So it's intense. And so just reading so much. But anyway, I just never, thank you. I don't know. It's just not me. Like to school, it's just not me. But something in me, man, like I got some phone calls. I was sharing this that happened to me. I shared it with you. I shared it with my brother and a family member. And this person called me, and this family member, and they told me, hey, like, do you ever consider going back to school? Like, go get educated. Like, you can go to seminary, and it was never a thought like to go back. And after that call, I remember hanging up and it's like, man, why do I kind of want to do this now? And it was one of those things that, like, I think in the fast, when you really give all of yourself to God and commit for real, God, like, does miracles in every way. And in me, what he did was he gave me a desire that I never normally would have had. It was to go back to school. And so, man, God opened the doors financially, God opened the doors to, like, a specific school, and that's a longer story, but God opened the doors, and it happened so fast, but I already started. I'm like 4 weeks in.
Yeah.
I'm just reading all day long. I wake up, read, do what I got to do, come back, read, do another thing, come back and read, go and eat some food, hopefully, come back and read. Like, but they're really good books.
Yeah.
So it's kind of easy.
I've been able to read some. And it's like, and I love that we get to talk about it, and like, and it's like good books. Yeah, they're great.
And so I'm excited. Writing a lot too. Like, I read a book and I got to write a paper, and so it's just a blessing and a gift to be able to, like, reflect on those things. Mm-hmm. You really see the beauty of education. Like, I'm appreciating it now more. Mm-hmm. Just being able to hear people, professors and theologians that have dedicated their lives, like, they've sacrificed their lives to dig, you know what I'm saying, and to, like, read the scriptures and really think about God in ways that no one has ever taken the time and committed all that time to figure out and put it on paper and, like, write it for us to understand God in our own ways and in different ways. And so, man, it's been a huge gift, but and that all came from the fast. And so, like, and at least
it was clarity. You know what I mean? Like, in so many areas of our lives, even just this thing that I said, this thing that I just realized it today, right now. But it has been since 2018, that I knew. I had a feeling, and it just, and you've known, you had a feeling.
Yeah.
It was just fully giving your yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something, and then it'll come back to me.
No, but I think, like, all the assignments, all the books that we've been reading, it's just been awesome seeing, like, God do those things in your life. We've talked about this. I see it, but every time we would do life group, I'd always be like, "You want to speak? Can you speak? I'll do this part." But it's because there's just an anointing, and you've grown up in it and you've been a part of that. But it's like even one of those phone calls that we were on recently, and you were encouraging and you were talking. There was just such conviction in what you were sharing, and, like, you could just hear how Jesus centered it was, and, like, you just have that in you. You're a great communicator, and like, you bless me, and in the conversations that we've had, or when we've talked about the Bible, or when we read something, we're like, hey, let's dissect, like, type, and we'll, like, go deeper into what we're processing and what it's meaning to us, and it's just been special being able to see that. Yeah, thanks, man. But I remember what I was gonna say. I guess I was gonna say that in something about, like, the same thing with you. I feel like it was when we have Andy on, like, he's got to share. My brother has to share what he experienced, because he experienced his own thing, and when we have him on, we'll have to, like, go. Hey, we had an episode back then where we talked about. You actually talk about it now? So that'll happen soon. Yeah. But what I was gonna say is that what I guess what I see in the both of our yeses is that we're saying yes to, like, a future, you know what I'm saying, but not all of it is clear. Yeah, for sure. I guess the only thing that was clear for the both of us, I'll speak for myself, is, like, the next step. Yeah. Like, someone talked about this recently. Like, that we heard together? Yes. I feel like at a conference? It was Pastor Joel. He talked about that on Sunday. He was talking about, you remember? Where, yes, like your GPS, it guides you, but it doesn't tell you along the way, oh, you're doing great, that's right, you're right where you're supposed to be. It just, until the next step, it doesn't speak again until the next step. And that's a lot of times how God is, how the Holy Spirit is. Like, you won't know what the next step is until you go into that, that was such a beautiful example of that, because it's true. Like, in those seasons, you might feel like, am I doing the right thing? Is this where I'm supposed to be? But if that's what he said last, do it wholeheartedly, do it with everything you have, do it with excellence. That was beautiful, and that's exactly what that is. Like, you don't see. I guess what I'm saying is, like, whenever I'm done with school, you know what I'm saying, like,
however long it takes.
Yeah.
Which I've gotten great advice. Like, I don't need to rush it, you know,
Yeah.
like really learn, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, take time and absorb everything you're reading and
Yeah.
really absorb it. Let it sit in your soul. And so, you know, you don't really know what happens after that.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to be sure of was that I was doing the next right thing, you know, and sometimes that's all God gives you.
Yeah.
The next right thing.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of person that wants to know further ahead.
Yeah.
But for me, it was kind of like, you don't really know, you know, exactly where you'll be or what you'll be doing in 5-10 years. But, you know, if you feel something, which I felt it for the first time really ever committed to it in that fast, and I'm glad we did, was like, if I get there and I'm not ready, that's on me. I didn't really do everything that I knew I could do to give my best possible self to whatever role I'll have in the future. And I feel like that for me, and I hope that like you guys can take it, or whoever's listening to this, like if you feel something like tugging on your heart to do, and you feel like God's calling you to do something, just do it. Like I feel like that's like just the yes for the next thing can mean a whole lot for the future.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And so I felt that really hard in that fast that we did was, God, I'm not necessarily sure where I'll be in the long run, but I want to do the next right thing. And once you give God that yes, like it really opens up. And it took though giving up my own desires and what I want, what I saw myself doing in the next 5-10 years. And you know, I for a long time I held on to that and I didn't want to let it go. But the second I did it. You can't explain the way God opens things up.
Yeah.
And in my life, I saw that in you know, opening up this door. And so it's a complete shift in my life. I didn't think I would be back in school, like back in, you know, being a college student again. But it's exciting. It's exciting. I'm just learning a lot. And again, just trying to absorb it all. And so I'd love this to be a place where I can word vomit everything that I've been reading.
That's good.
And I hope you guys love theology and biblical context. It's been fascinating to me. For those of you Bible nerds like me, we'll have some episodes in there, but
for sure.
I'll geek out.
For sure.
Just as much as we'll geek out about working out and lifting weights.
Sure.
And we'll still be posting workouts.
For
so
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
No, that's so good. You know, something you said a little earlier that I've really felt is I've never left, like, ever since I was 15, like my yes has been my yes, and like I've been all in, right? But there's this line from I think it's like Martin Smith song that's like, back to the start where you found me, I give you my heart again, you know? And like, for some reason, I remember when I felt this heavy, like, conviction of like, all right, this is what I'm supposed to do, that just kept playing in my head. It just kept playing over and over and over, and I kept singing it over and over and over. And it's just this, it's a beautiful, like, I feel like that's kind of what it felt like to me. Like, worship's always been at the forefront of me, and like how I feel the most connected to God, and when I'm praying, and I'll be singing, or I'll be writing, you know, and like, so it felt like going back to the start, yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So if you've never fasted before, I would encourage you to just look into it, you know, like do some research. It's in the Bible. You'll see it mentioned a lot. And yeah, God could do some crazy things when you just set some time aside and like really commit to seeking Him and to hearing His voice. And it's what He did in our lives was unbelievable, and it really shaped the year.
Yeah, I agree.
It shaped the year and probably the next, you know, I don't know how many years, but it's really exciting. So
it is.
Yeah, we just wanted to share with you guys that.
Yes.
By the time this drops,
yes. Oh my goodness. And if it would be.
We're movie nerds.
Yes.
So we just watched. You know what movie we just watched? Remember Disclosure Day?
Yeah. I remember.
We're always in the movies, so we kind of forget what movies we're watching.
Yeah.
Stubbs, AMC, shout out.
Shout out.
We love you.
You know when they
AMC.
say, if you're an AMC A-lister, we want to thank you.
Yes.
That's us.
So this is our thank you to AMC. We're loyal
AMC.
members.
Yes.
We just watched Disclosure Day. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was nice.
Spielberg.
Yeah. He's
GOAT.
He's great.
Goat.
Emily Blunt. Incredible. John Williams.
Uh-huh. And
Incredible.
very soon, the Odyssey drops.
That's right. Well, Odyssey would have dropped already.
By this time.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Odyssey would have dropped. And the next movie dropping in like 2 days
like
is
next
Spider-Man Brand New Days. No, 2 days.
Jeez.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
my goodness.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen? Do you think there's going to be a post-credit scene for
There has to be a post-credit scene.
for Avengers?
I think there has to be. Actually, the more I think about it, there has to be. Because that...
If there isn't, I'm going to cry.
Everything is building up to that now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything needs to build up to that because we haven't seen anything.
Do you see the countdown they're doing?
I saw the countdown on YouTube. Now it's like...
Yeah. They're doing on YouTube, if you haven't seen, check on YouTube. Marvel is doing like a countdown
It's
to
like 5
Avengers.
months till Avengers.
A live stream
That's crazy.
countdown.
That's
genius.
crazy.
They're
Yeah.
genius.
No, I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm
man.
excited. I don't know what to expect.
Just wait on our movie review.
Yes.
We're gonna have to have an episode of just reviewing movies.
That would be fun.
You know, like what's that app called? Where they Letterbox.
Letterbox.
We're gonna have
That's
to
right.
have a Letterbox session up in here.
That's good.
Watch your reviews. But
I like that.
anyway, we love you all. Thank you so
Yes.
much for watching and just listening again.
Yeah.
Everyone that supports.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thank
Yeah.
you for get your merch.
Yep. Get your 2615 merch. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe.
Yes, do those things.
Do all the things. Let us know what you'd like to hear, stories.
Yeah.
I've seen some fun stuff in the comments.
Yeah.
Just want to hear from you.
Let us know what you'd like us to talk about too.
Yeah.
Like if you have an idea, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like nothing hurts.
We have stuff that
We
we've
wanna-
already planned.
We have ideas.
And then and anything else, like, let us know.
We love to yap.
Yeah.
So we love you guys so much.
Yeah.
And God bless. We
Yes.
shall see you very soon.
Yes.